Welcome to Scorched Earth and a general mid-month reading for the sign of Taurus, Sun, Moon or Ascendant, for the last 2 weeks of July. I hope you're well. I'm using the Llewellyn Tarot for you today. So if you haven't seen these mid-months before, I structure them slightly differently to the main monthly readings in so much as we are looking for the lesson. I think there is a lesson contained in every experience that we have, and often it's easier to navigate those experiences if we can see the broader picture and understand why we're in there in the first place. So I've used it to quite good effect for myself over the years, and that's why I'm sharing it with you now. So to that end, what we will do is pull 3 cards for your current energy, and then we'll pull 3 cards to see why you are in that energy. Sometimes it's trying to teach you something about yourself. Sometimes it's trying to teach you something about, you know, the people around you, the relationships that you have. Sometimes it's showing you what you need to release, what you need to let go of, what you need to hold on to. You know, we won't know until the cards hit the table. So I'm going to do that, and we'll end it out with, close it out rather, with 3 cards of advice. So, can I see where Taurus is right now, please? On with Taurus. So, we have the Lover's card, we have the 3 of Swords, and we have the Hermit. This is interesting. Because the 3 of Swords, let's leap to that first, right? That deals with your own personal pain, and it is historic, Taurus. This is sort of indicating where there is still work to be done. It's not about new, fresh pain. It's about how you process the old. And let us not forget, like, the work is never done. As much as we would like it to be the case, it isn't. So, but I'm interested by the fact that it's flanked by 2 major arcana cards here. We have the Lovers, which is the card of Gemini here, and we have the Hermit, which is the card of Virgo. Now, both cards are actually facing in towards the 3 of Swords. And the Hermit is all about that self-inquiry, about going within, right? This is something that you've become very adept at, Taurus, over the last 1.5 years. There isn't anything in there for you that is terrifying at this point. There may be things that make you catch your breath just a little bit, and there may be things that you feel nervous about, but terror is not the experience that you have now. It's more curiosity, right? And certainly in the interests of dealing with all of these things, and you know, you are the most adept students at this. You really picked up this notion and ran with it. It says to me that you are looking at something that's perhaps quite deeply seated within you. Now, there could have been some sort of catalyzing event. There could have been something that you got triggered by, and you'd be just like, whoa, what is this really strong emotional reaction that I've had to this thing? I need to go and investigate this, go and, you know, prise it open and see what it's about. But the fact that these 2 cards have come up after the Lover's card, it seems to suggest that you, having been presented with a choice, possibly, is the thing that might have brought this on, right? It's unrevealed. It's revealed something that was up until this point obscured from you. The other way of looking at this is that it could be decisions that you have made about your life now are kind of bringing these to the fore, right? It's in so much as, if the Lover's card is a choice, and it is a card of conscious co-creation, it is about you working with energy so that you can bring it for you, you know, the life that you want. It could well be a case of what you want actually coming towards you at such a rate that it's actually knocked you off guard a little bit. And perhaps what this 3 of Swords is here is an element of self-sabotage that's reared its head. Now, the fact that the Hermit card is directly after it gives me a lot of hope, because it tells me that you recognize this for what it is, right? So rather than stepping away from it and going, oh, I could never do that, you know, and not investigating it any further, you're like, hang on, this is exactly what I wanted, and now it's right here in front of me, and now I kind of want to run away from it, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stand here and I'm going to look at it. This is really interesting, Taurus. Your readings are always interesting. Tell me about this 3 of Swords. What do you need to know about the 3 of Swords? The Queen of Wands in reverse. And the Two of Cups. This could well be... it could be a relationship with a fire sign. We've got this Queen of Wands here. It's strictly Aries energy, but it could be Leo and it could be Sagittarius. And there's also the Six of Wands at the bottom of the deck here, which is a Leo card. Now, it could be that there's a relationship that's come in and it kicked off all sorts of things that you thought you'd dealt with. Now you're a little bit like, oh, am I even ready for this? I'm not sure. Right? That's possible. But there's something of recognition here too, Taurus. Right, we've got that Six of Wands there. We've got the woman on the stage. Queen of Wands, built to be visible, built to be seen. Now, there are lots of ways in which you are very comfortable in being seen, Taurus, and the work environment is one of them, right? You like to be acknowledged, you like to be seen for being very competent at what you do, and you are, right? Your work ethic is second to none, and even if you don't understand something immediately, you will apply yourself until you've worked it out, right? You're very, very diligent, and it's one of the things that makes you, an awesome employee. Or even if you run your own company, although it's more difficult to get the acknowledgement then. But there are other ways that you can be seen that are less comfortable for you, and I feel like this sits very comfortably. It doesn't sit very comfortably, it sits very, very much within that subset of experiences for you. Because with the Three of Swords and then the Queen of Wands in reverse, it feels a little bit like you're like, oh God, somebody can see me. I'm not sure that I'm comfortable with that, right? And it could be a romantic relationship. It could be somebody seeing you for who you are that way. It could be a business partnership. The Two of Cups is just about two people, in alignment, seeing each other. And the obvious implication is that it would be romantic, but it doesn't have to be at all. It could even be something like a parent actually seeing you as an adult and responding to you as an adult, which for a lot of you Tauruses it's actually quite rare, certainly in your experience here too. But there's something about this here, which is what you have always wanted and it getting a little bit too close, and suddenly there's a reaction. Suddenly you're like, oh God, do I even really want this? Just stay there a second while I work out how I feel about this. But the fact that the Hermit is here does mean that you're willing to go within and look at that. It does mean that you're willing to explore it in a way that you wouldn't have done before. Tell me why this why Taurus is in this energy at the moment. Oh, goodness. What do we have here? We have the Seven of Wands, we have the Seven of Cups, and we have the Three of Pentacles, with the Seven of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Now, the Seven of Wands is in reverse, and all of the other cards are in the upright. The reason that you're in this energy, right, if this is being defensive and trying to protect yourself, then this is understanding that you don't need to do that. Right? Now, there are many reasons why you don't need to do that. And first and foremost is because you are not the same person that you used to be. You understand boundaries. You understand that there are ways to protect yourself that don't involve you being defensive. But I think that you probably also realise that the most attacking that's ever happened with you, Taurus, has happened by your own hand. It's not been by other people. It's been self-inflicted. And this most recent version of the self-sabotage is coming up so that you can look at it, explore it as you are doing at the moment, and then release that as a mechanism by which you respond to the world. The Seven of Cups, it can talk about emotional confusion. It can talk about emotional illusion. I think it's actually come up for every single sign that I've read for, interestingly, this morning. But I like it in the Llewellyn. Because rather than having a figure who is silhouetted and going like, with all of these cups that are up at the side, which is something that might have been your response 2 years ago, we've got a willingness to sit with it now. We've got a willingness to release your little butterflies and let them kind of explore what is in each of these cups and report back to you, tell you what it is. And she is illuminated. She is illuminated. The cups are illuminated. There's nothing in the dark here. Everything's being brought to the fore for you to look at. And then we have the Three of Pentacles. Now, as a herd animal, what you really, really like is to be able to work with other people. You like harmonious relationships. And I think that certainly in the last year, your life is characterized by far more of those kind of relationships than it was prior to that. And cleared out all of the people that were just sort of, you know, taking advantage of you. But more than that, you've improved your reaction to other people. So the boundaries thing is really, really important. But there's something about this situation that's coming in a little deeper than all of the others. And that's great, because it's triggered something within you, something that needs releasing, something that needs to be let go, something that is less than optimal, right? With this Seven of Pentacles here. And although it's not here, there's a kind of crunch time energy to this reading, right? There's a Two of Wands feeling here. And it might be the first time that you've kind of run up against this particular aspect of your own self-sabotage. And so you could choose to react to it the way that you always have reacted before, or you could choose to do things differently. And this is an opportunity to do things differently. This is an opportunity to either pull your energy away, but Taurus, I feel like that's something that you've been doing a lot of, particularly in the last year, right? Like not over-investing in things, not over-investing in people, not projecting your own gold into other people, right? It's all been about taking back of those things that are inherently yours and belong to you and should be self-directed. This situation feels like it's the reverse. This actually requires you to open up and allow yourself to give, okay? In a way that you have always felt compelled to do, but that everything that you've learned in the last year has kind of made you go, maybe I shouldn't do that, right? Except that this isn't the wisdom. This is the last vestiges of self-sabotage that's kind of coming up. Like it's the residue going, oh, look, I run really, really deep. Here's something for you to look at, right? I feel curiosity more than anything. I don't feel fear. And I feel like that curiosity is built up by the fact that you are strong and you know that you can do all of these things. And this feels like it's kind of unexpected. And rather than reeling in shock and going, oh my God, you're like, oh, what is this? Let me dig around in this. And Taurus, I really do feel like it's something that you really want. It's something that you've actually been wishing for, and it's coming into you. It does involve other people. It involves working with other people, because we've got this Three of Pentacles here. There's an adaptability being asked of you. You know, it's fixed earth. Once you know something, and that's the road that you travel with things. But you've been introducing a certain flexibility to the way that you work. And this is just the most recent version of that. So where there is something that you have wanted to come in for you, where it's arriving in front of you, what are you choosing to do about it? Are you going to invest in it, or are you going to kind of pull back from it a little bit? Because like I said, it's pulling up something really, really deep to be looked at. Now get some cards of advice for Taurus, please. Wow. We have the Hierophant. We have the Strength card. And the Star. That's 3 cards, 3 major arcana cards for you. And the Ace of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Now the Ace of Swords is the truth. Right? That's what it is. Long and short, it's the truth. But it is about the way that you see the world, right? The sword suit is all about words and communications and ideas. It's very cerebral. And the whole point of your brain, right, is to process information that comes into it. So when the Ace of Swords appears, it's almost like new information, new ways of putting things together. You are getting some incredible insight into yourself, and this is an opportunity to eradicate from, there's the fucking Eight of Cups behind it, right? This is an opportunity for you to eradicate that part of you that pulls you back from something, no matter how much you want it. It's like, it's almost like you want it so much it feels like a threat that you should actually get it, for whatever reason that is. Maybe if I invest in this because I want it so much, when it gets ripped away from me, when it doesn't turn out the way that I wanted it to, I'm going to be distraught, I'm going to be broken, I'm going to be all of those things. No, Taurus, that might have been who you were 2 years ago, but it's not who you are now. This is about an opportunity to do things differently, see things differently, process things differently. And with these 3 major arcana here, it feels to me like these next 2 weeks are really, really important for your own growth, right? Spiritual growth for sure. Now, I've often said that I'm not really fond of the Hierophant too much as an archetype for Taurus. However, in the Llewellyn, I actually really love it. Like his druid shaman dude here, right? And he is depicted as solitary. He doesn't have all the acolytes that you usually see on the Hierophant card. It is called an acolyte card. And 2 people lower down there. There's something much stronger. There's something much more of the self, right? This is somebody who has been on a journey and understands who they are, what they stand for, what. I was going to say what the parameters of their universe is, but I think that what you've done, Taurus, is push beyond that so hard in the last year. Because as fixed earth, you're supposed to want to sit still, right? That's what everybody says. Like, you build your little corner of the universe, and to a degree that is correct. But there's been much more movement and adaptability and flexibility built into you now that you can kind of push the boundaries out a little bit. And this person is so self-assured, like they know who they are. You can see it. Like it's depicted in every aspect of that, the way that they hold themselves. They're ready for anything. And you are ready for anything. And what as a card of you being here, it's like you can conquer anything that you put your mind and your heart to. You can do it, but you need to believe in yourself. Right? You need to believe that you are strong enough to withstand anything. Yes, whenever you invest in anything, you run the risk of losing that investment somewhere down the line, whether that is, money, but that's less important, right? It's the time, the care, the effort, the energy, the love, all of those things that you can invest. And sometimes having that ripped away from you, as you have had, Taurus, a number of times, it can feel catastrophic, but because you are so different now, because you have changed, because you have grown so very strong, because you understand that there is a lesson contained within all of these things, you know that even if that happened, there would be something really important that you learned, something that would contribute to your soul growth moving forwards, and that it would be okay, that you would survive. Another battle wound, but it's okay, because you're stronger and wiser every single time something like that happens. But do you know what? Focusing on the negative aspects of it isn't really you anyway, Taurus. It has been you, but actually because you enjoy hope, because you enjoy interaction, experience, because you enjoy all of these things, like, let's not allow the self-sabotage to kick in over the top and ruin that moment for you, right? Remember, it's about living in the present here. Yes, you plan for the future. Yes, you take steps towards the future. But ultimately what you have, the only thing that you really have, is the here and now. And if the self-sabotage is trying to take that away from you, which it looks like it is, it's time to knock it into a cocked hat. And keep the faith. Keep your hope, because not everything ends badly. Even things that feel like they ended badly ultimately have led to something better in the future. You're on a healing path, right? That came up for you a few weeks ago. And part of the healing is accepting that good things are going to happen too. Accepting that it is okay for you to have the thing that you want. All right, Taurus, I'm going to leave it there. Know that I love you all very, very much, and I will see you soon.